Hello, Paris. In my work campaigning on food security, I have had the privilege of visiting the people behind our plates, smallholder farmers. Women make up nearly half of all smallholder farmers, and the ones that I met in Zambia and Sierra Leone showed firsthand the very real effects of climate change on their livelihoods. Rural women are particularly vulnerable to inequity. Many have little or no direct access to land or financing. This needs to change, and the change starts now. IFAD is working to mobilize $10 billion to improve the lives of 110 million small-scale farmers. So I'd like to personally thank France today for announcing that it will host the December IFAD replenishment event, which is the last fundraising session for the year. This is a big deal, guys. Governments need to step up their commitments so that rural people can adapt to climate change and improve food security for themselves and for the world.
I am a small-scale holder farmer in Gatataek, Kajiado, a dusty, arid town back in Kenya. Prolonged drought and rising temperatures are the norm. We have seen cattle, sheep die, rivers run dry, and armies of locusts and pests rain havoc on our farms. The change in our climate has led to dire poverty. Kenyans rely heavily on farming for income. We start off with high hopes, but soon our hopes become despair as crops shrivel like grass. Despite it all, we continue repeating the process and hoping for a new outcome that never comes. Thank you. First, the crops go, then the animals die, and then the children begin to drop out of school. Families are forced into new options of income, like selling their young daughters into marriage. This is what the cycle of poverty perpetuated by climate crisis looks like for us. In our local language, Kiswahili, global warming literally translates into alarm, alarm, the world is on fire. And this is something the whole world needs to know.
I come from a long line of farmers, and some of my earliest memories include gardening with my mom and grandmother. I became invested in environmental work as a teenager when I realized it was an issue of social justice. Climate change disproportionately affects communities of color, and women and girls are the hardest hit. Today, only 1.7% of climate funding worldwide goes to support smallholder farmers in developing countries who are at the front lines of the climate crisis. This is not fair. Smallholder farmers produce 1/3 of the world's food, and Wangari has already explained how hard that job has become.
Farmers must be provided with funding to adapt, which is why we must push for investment for climate-smart agriculture. Please join us in demanding that our leaders deliver on their promises of providing climate financing. We are the gatekeepers of our planet.